listening to Combat Sports UK.
Combat Sports UK.
Hello, I'm Scott Bogey from Combat Sports UK, here with Ben Masterton, ahead of his fight against Imran Hassan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, pal. The weight cut's going well. Feeling ready for Saturday.
Exactly. And how do you feel like this fight's going to play out? I know you probably don't want to give up too much secrets, but do you feel like it's going to be on the ground, standing up?
Well, I've seen a wee one of these fights. I had, I think it was a couple of years ago now, and he does look like a really fast kickboxer and a fast striker. So I think I'm gonna. Every time I start a fight, I want to start straight to the first bell, put the pressure on him, show him what I can do, and I think the first round. I want to go out there. I want to put the pressure on him. See how good his striking is compared to my striking, and see how the fight plays out for there.
Exactly. And you have been able to showcase a variety of different ways to get the victory. Last fight, it was knockout. Fight before that, it was a triangle choke. So you are being able to showcase, you are able to go to the ground as well as on the feet. Do you feel like that just shows your overall game is coming together?
I felt if you compare my first couple of fights, I was mainly just heavy grappling. I do like I prefer a bit wrestling and grappling, but the last couple of fights, I feel like I've improved my game that much that I can stand with strikers, I can wrestle with wrestlers, I can do jiu-jitsu guys. I'm that way around it. I can take them anywhere I want them to take them in, and my gas tank's that good as well. I will not get tired, so I feel like I'm very well rounded now.
And you also fought the last fight with Goliath, so it must be a bit easier coming into this fight, knowing the process, knowing the establishment already.
Yeah, the last show it was brilliant. So it was a good show. The live shows like we got good timing, good runners, plenty of time to get prepared. You know, he's getting all right with 5 minutes, so you get plenty of notice. It's a very well run show.
And do you feel like the fact that it does have the UFC Chris Duncan being a part of it just elevates it to that next level? It does get that a little bit more exposure into the game.
Yeah, exactly. You say it does. It gets a lot more eyes watching. If you do something spectacular, and Chris Duncan's there, and he puts on Instagram, that's more people messaging you, more exposure for it. Especially, it's good for amateur fighters, especially if that's
Yeah.
Scottish. Okay, he can post it and this boy sees it, anybody sees it. Next year, Cage Warriors and that see it. Okay, it's a good way to get more exposure for the young fighters.
And how big is the sponsorship in the game? Because obviously, as an amateur, you don't get paid to fight. So how big is having these sponsorships, being able to help you in that journey to being able to get prepared for these fights?
Well, sponsorship there, as you said, you don't get paid. So if you want to want to improve your training, get more expensive equipment and that, and even though some people would go to Thailand and train, so getting sponsors is a key part of it. Well, I've got two myself. Well, one of them's she's a Divine. She does IVs and stuff like that. She helps me rehydrate after a weight cut. And the other one's Wolf Blood Clothing. They send me attire to wear to the gym and stuff like that. So they've looked after me, and it's good to have somebody like that looking out for younger fighters and people who are just starting up.
And like you mentioned it briefly there, some fighters do go out abroad to be able to train, like in Thailand. Have you been able to experience any of that in your career?
I haven't been able to go to Thailand or that yet. It is a goal of mine to go over there, and especially now we've had a couple of other fighters over in Thailand just this last month. They've been training, and some of the coaching they're getting over there is massive. The gyms are super gyms.
Yeah.
You learn stuff for people that well, we had some UFC fighters and that go out and sparring with them. It's the level of training over there is immense. So it is a goal of mine to go over there and train.
And how big do you feel like it is to be able to go out there? I know you've not done it yet, but how big do you think it will be to go out there and be able to train with these guys from the UFC?
It just show you a different level of competition. You know, you've got obviously we're in the gym, we're sparring each other, and
Yeah.
we're as good as your sparring partners can be. So if you go and spar with somebody who's the next level up, somebody who's fighting the UFC, you'll get taught things you'll never learn back home, and you'll experience things that you never experienced back home, just with the environment and the people you'll meet, people from different countries and that as well. But get involved in different training cultures and that as well.
And you did have one fight in 2024. Do you feel like what coming into 2025, it's a new year, first fight in February, what are you wanting to accomplish this year?
But last year, I wanted to have 3 or 4 fights. However, I did have about 4 or 5 booked, and unfortunately, apart from one, they all fell through. So this year, I'm looking to make up for some lost time. I want to get a lot more fights on the miss, more experience. Fight some of the best guys in the UK bantamweight division, and try and put the bit of the division on a bit of notice. Try and take some of the big names out there.
And how do you feel like it is trying to get booked in the UK? Because also there is a lot of good organisations out there. You have Goliath, you have got Fightstar, Almighty, Unity. There's just a lot of opportunity for fighters to be able to get booked.
There's a lot of new shows as well popping up now and again, and it's good to see because after of COVID and that, you heard about a lot of organisations
Yeah.
closing down. A lot of the ones up in Scotland, there was two up around here, they closed down, and so after that, obviously Goliath he's set up their own fight show and that. But it's good to fight a lot more and doing other bigger shows. I like Almighty Fighting Championship and Budo and stuff like that. Okay, a lot of the ones they're big shows. They're really really well organised.
However, it must feel nice to be able to fight in your home country once again.
It's a great feeling just fighting in your home. When they don't have to try and worry about trying to get travel, transportation
Yeah.
down there. It's just great. Like, and especially all the fans and that people who just go to the commercial side of the gym, they're here to support all the boys and that as well. It's great. Like,
Exactly. So you can bring more people to the fights, and you also do have that home comfort as well of being able to sleep in your own bed, being able to be around your family as well before the fight instead of having to say goodbye the day before, head down, get a hotel, and be able to do the weight cut down there.
it's a lot easier doing it up at home. Like, you don't have to say goodbye to people or try to message people. And, oh, I'll let you can. And I go, oh, it's just me. Come and see you on Saturday. I'm only up the road there. So it's a lot easier. Like, and you said, you're not going into hotels and try to look for saunas or stuff like that down there. You're a lot comfier up here.
And do you try to get as much activity as you can, even if it's not just in MMA, but try to get to jiu-jitsu competitions, grappling comp matches? Do you try to just stay active as much as possible?
Well, I do train all the time, obviously, but this year I'm really want to step into a lot of grappling competitions, grappling industries, SGI, even maybe CC Scotland. I want to get involved with them because I think my grappling is improved to a level now that I can grapple with the best, and I really want to step up that. And as you say, do it side by side with the fighting. You can have an MMA fight 1 month, and then maybe a couple of months later have a grappling match. See how just try and improve all the time, eh?
Exactly, and there is the big names in the ADCC because just like the one in Sterling last month, you had Gemma Gold, you had um, Sean Clancy, I think he was there. You
Yeah.
do have all these big names still going into these competitions, so you can see your ability with them.
It'd be great to go and see and even just roll with some of the best people that come over here because it's as you say, you're learning from really really world class athletes, and it's just people that you get to meet different people and just different styles and that as well.
And how do you feel like the UK MMA scene is going just now, as well as with the Scottish scene? Because in the UK, we do have a lot of upcoming UFC caliber fighters. In Luke Riley, you have Curtis Campbell, you Callum Walsh, then more specifically Scotland, Mark Ewan, Rhys McEwen, Sean Clancy Jr., and then Gemma Gold, Lorenzo. It just seems like the UK scene is now in that boom stage where it's just bursting onto the scene.
It looks like it's just every couple of months there's somebody new who's up and coming. It's great to see for UK MMA because if you've seen it in America, obviously once it got cemented, there's
Yeah,
everybody was involved in it. Now over here, it seems like everybody's involved in trying to push forward British MMA to try and you say we've got Tom Aspinall as the heavyweight champion.
yeah.
Okay, that's so inspiring for everybody around the UK to say that. Well, why can we know? Why can everybody else not do it? It's just brilliant. And as you said there about Scottish people, you're watching Cage Warriors and that their Scottish talent is unbelievable. They've got their show in April there. That I'm going to go to that, and it looks fantastic. They've got really high caliber fighters, and it's great to see them come from amateur straight into professional leagues, and some of them could get signed to the UFC. As you said, it's really really promising.
And like you said, they do have that show already booked in April. Do you feel like having Cage Warriors, having PFLU out, coming to Glasgow last year, having these shows being there to have these Scottish fighters being able to perform, it just gives the MMA scene in Scotland a bit more recognition to pull those eyes back onto the sport.
It just shows what you can achieve if you keep just training, keep getting fights, keep getting wins. There's no like you're going to, oh, I hate to go move to America to fight in the UFC. No,
Yeah.
no. You've got the PFL Europe, you've got Cage Warriors, really. They're stepping stones. They're brilliant organisations, and they really do support amateur fighters.
And do you feel like with all this talent coming through these ranks, it's going to pull Dana White to be coming to the UK more? I know they've got a show in March, but maybe 2 or 3 times that much talent that there is going to go into that big show.
Yeah, you see they have UFC Glasgow and that, and even UFC London. They're
Yeah,
just the more it's a lot. Everybody's interested in seeing it because you're some of the Americans now they don't know who some of the upcoming British fighters are. They go out there, put a fight of the night, and next thing you know, everybody's talk about this gym for the UK, this gym for the UK. It's great to see more big shows coming here, and I think they will in the future. There'll be a lot more big, massive production shows in UK.
exactly. And like you're saying, you can have a UFC Glasgow show once again. We do have 2 fighters from Scotland in the UK, Chris Duncan as well as Paul Craig. I know the Scottish crowd would go in there, sell out Hampden, and put on a big show for those fighters.
Oh, I definitely would. Like, we had a big stadium booked out to see them two fight. That'd be amazing. Like, we'd sell it in minutes.
And what do you feel like has been the biggest learning point for you from that first fight back in 2022 to now?
Mainly just take your time. When I go in there, just say take your time. Just realise, don't try and rush to anything. My first fight, I felt like I kind of rushed. Had a triangle, I rushed the triangle, lost the triangle. I felt like I was trying to rush through the fight to try and get the finish as quickly as possible. But I've realised in the last couple of fights that you don't have to rush anything. Just I'll go in there. I'll do what I'm not bothered what he's going to do to me. I became what I'm going to do to him, and I know he's not going to be able to withstand it. So I'm going to go in there, do what I can do, and get the win. That's just how to believe. Just didn't rush and didn't panic.
And how did you come into the sport?
Well, I've always been I did the Taekwondo for a young age through my big brother and that, and I've always enjoyed a lot of combat sports like boxing. And it was actually it was my granddad. He first showed me the UFC when I was really wee, and he was watching it on I think it was Spike TV, and he was showing me this stuff, this fighting, there's no rules and that. And ever since I seen that, I was just I couldn't get enough of it. And then I seen the Goliath was getting building a new gym in Cowden Beef. And I just say I have to go along, And ever since then, I've just been addicted to it.
Exactly. And obviously, it's going to be a great show and great victory. Do you have anyone that you're wanting to call out, or are you just going to welcome any name that comes through at you?
I'll take anybody that wants to have a fight with me. Yeah, I'm looking at I'm seeing the title fight of the Goliath fight series. The boy for Iceland coming out to fight Muhammad Usman, and that looks like a really good fight. So I'll be watching that one pretty closely and seeing what happens with that result. But I'll fight anybody that wants to fight. I'm game like.
And then obviously your division, the bantamweight division in the UFC, there could be a few changes in there. I know the former Bellator bantamweight champion has called for his release, Patchy Mix, from his PFL contract. How do you feel like he would shape up that bantamweight division in the UFC?
So he would just add another level, another scout for people to look out for. You're in the top five and that. It's already a stacked division. With your
Yeah.
Marab, obviously, and you've got such a stacked division. Put another massive name in there. That's just that the fights that you can make with that's unbelievable.
And do you feel like we could see like another situation like what happened to Kai with the flyweight division, where he just comes in and he gets that title shot immediately? Because if you look at the top contenders, Sean O'Malley, Umar, they've just fought against Marab and they've lost. So it kind of does bring that opening of he could come in and get that shot.
Yeah, I think the door's open for it. Like he's obviously a world class fighter, and as you said, Marab's beat everybody. I think so. If he comes in there, it wouldn't be too surprising if we get a shot right at the title, and I think it'd give him a good fight.
And do you feel like nowadays we are seeing that new generation come into these rankings and start to change over the guard? Especially in that welterweight division, you have the guys who were dominating for so long, Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington, they're now starting to drop down that rankings, whereas the new wave, Shavkat, Ian Gary, Jack, they are coming through those rankings.
I think what you're saying now is it's more instead of one discipline that people are perfect at, like Kamaru Usman, his striking is good, but his wrestling was unbelievable. But nowadays, everybody's brilliant everywhere. You look at some of the up and coming like Shaq and that his striking is phenomenal, his grappling's phenomenal. Again, they've not got a weakness. their gas tanks are phenomenal. They didn't have a place where you go, right, I'm going to take him down and beat him there. You've got to go, right, I'm going to figure out how to beat him. The new generation, they're so well rounded. It's unbelievable. Eh?
Exactly. And am I correct in saying that you're training under the head coach of Stephen Harris?
Yeah, yeah.
And how has he been for your development?
Oh, Harris has been brilliant, and he's just been even from he's doing beginner programs and that. He's always been making sure everyone's going all right, and then as you become in the fight team, he becomes a lot more personable with you, and he's just like a big brother. He's always looking out for all the boys in the gym. Any problems, day or night, give him a phone, give him a message. He'll always sort it out. He's always got our best interest at heart, and his coaching is brilliant too. He's a brilliant coach, and if he needs to get other coaches in, we've got a world-class jiu-jitsu coach in Ben Fletcher. Scott Malone, he comes in and does nights as well. He's fantastic. We've got some of the best coaches in Scotland coming in to help us along, and it's brilliant, especially when he sets up a massive facility like he has done in Recife, and you get a great coaching and a great environment. It's world class.
Exactly. And I know you're going to be able to put on a show and get that first round stoppage. Is there anything you're wanting to add or anyone you're wanting to shout out?
No, I just want to give just all the boys that have been helping me through my camp, especially my twin brother Brad. He's fighting as well on Saturday. I'll give him a massive shout out. He's been a massive help through this camp. Even Jinxie, he's helped me a lot as well. Just a lot of the boys that have we've all dug together and we've all been just putting 110% in together and making sure nobody's injured, nobody's going too hard. It's just been all the boys that have been helping me out. It's just been brilliant. It's been a brilliant atmosphere in this camp as well this time.
Well, that sounds great, and I know you'll put on a show. Thank you for coming on.
Right, thank you very much.